Orb.
Orb.
On movements of the earth.
Winds of the earth.
So
Yes.
we got 3 episodes. Um, I want to say I love the introduction of Draka, like because we know um we finally get a female lead per se, and
Mm-hmm.
and not just like any like random female lead. Like she's
And
actually
she's
smart.
an intellectual, exactly. She's an intellectual, yeah, but she's a refugee and poor. So
Yeah,
she's
I
like
mean, pretty
just
big
like an
motivation.
immigrant, yeah. Pretty big obstacles, like pretty big walls for her to overcome. So
Yeah, I definitely think her just kind of like being there kind of plays into the whole fact that they're establishing from the previous episodes, right? How like because the church is not really distributing the wealth that they get evenly,
hmm
like it's making a
hmm
lot of people suffer, especially those that can't really or can't really don't really have anything to rely on to make any money.
hmm
Which I do love that the uncle, right? Her
Yes,
betraying ass uncle, like
the uncle. The uncle is a character for sure. He
yeah,
started off such a good, mentor, a good adult, someone to look up to per se.
yeah,
But then he definitely became a disappointment, and no better than mm, the people that we've seen. So it's
yeah,
yeah, that hurt,
yeah,
especially being seeing how she thought that he cared, so.
yeah. Well, yeah, she thought he cared. Really, he did not. He did teach her some very valuable things, right? About how there's no
Yeah.
real there's how there really is no God, and that you should focus more on like something that you can really put your full thing in, right? Like a conviction per se,
hmm
like something that you can
hmm
strive to be in. Also, something you can take on and make. And for her, it was like, okay, money's the one truth in the world. So,
Convention, yeah. He taught her to have convention, yeah, convention, yeah.
and for
Con-
her, that was the way her conviction was, is through money. Like she literally said,
hmm
she's like the capitalist of this era, per se. She just
hmm
she sees it as kind of like a security and like strength. So with money, like well, she kind of nailed it, right? Money just runs the world. Money's what the church has. So it really just ties back to them trying to get back their power, you know. And you know, it was. I remember talking to you about it in the previous when we last discussed the herb and how I'm like, yeah, somebody's gonna find the notebook.
Yeah, yeah,
it,
and she
it
did.
she
She was
did,
the
and she
one.
ended up reading it, and her first thought is like, how can I make money out of this? I'm like, yeah, this is
Right.
such a capitalist person. Like
hmm
her first thing is like, damn, this could revolutionize everything, right? And also like
Right.
her the fact that they found this notebook right here and then it was kind of like, damn, talk about timing. Now that the Heretic Liberation Front is actually like diminishing
Right. Yeah.
the kind of like the stranglehold that the church has on people, like weakening them at least, right? Like maybe
hmm
and because of all the like we like I keep repeating, like the wealth disparity that people are
Yeah.
starting to notice, it's making them like want to have something to be able to oppose the church, right? So I'm glad she has a pretty good memory, because
Yeah. It's definitely something
yeah,
she knows of self and
yeah, and
yeah,
of course
she's
the episode 17 just ends with the lying ass uncle just like selling her out to the church.
yeah. Seems like he got caught up in something and decided to exchange himself for her since she does hold more value being a young lady.
Yep.
So
I mean, he's just doing it for self-preservation. So like, you
Yeah,
can't
because they were
really.
gonna take him in. They were gonna take him in
Well,
for
yeah.
God knows what. Like, I don't know what he can be useful.
Yep.
But yeah, I mean that sucks. But then in the second episode,
Episode
we see that
18.
he brings her, or the second one going
Yeah.
forward.
Yeah.
Um, we see that he brings her in to who we know to be Anthony, the one that betrayed before, right?
Yeah.
The dude and the girl to get into that position that now he holds. So we see that he's been holding the position. He did get it, and
Yep.
yeah. So
I like how
wow,
Draka.
I love how, yeah, exactly. I love how like the dialogue went and how things she turned things around for herself, and it seemed like things were really gonna go well for her until he noticed the fucking book.
Mm-hmm.
And we know how he feels. I mean, any church feels about her, erotic.
About
So
hallucination. Yeah. I mean, they
yeah,
didn't. At least they didn't know what was in it, right? But and fortunately for her, the Liberation Front was
but
still
she
there.
knows.
Yeah.
She knows what was in there, and she knows their position in it. So she did
Yeah, I love how she sweet
right.
talked them, right? About like, I can help you guys like re get like the people back, people's back basically, right? Because she told them like, your wealth is declining, the people is in distrusting
Mm-hmm.
you now. There's several
Yeah, yeah.
ways.
The way they turn him around. Yeah, definitely watch the episode. It
Yeah.
was really good dialogue on
Yeah.
how she turned that for her convenience. Gain his respect and all. It was definitely, even the uncle was impressed.
Yeah. Which thank God he died, by the way, because of
Yeah,
because I was like, yeah, if
yeah.
this weasel finds a way out, I don't know.
Well,
Or
and how is it? Oh yeah, because obviously, the position and the fact that he saw her holding the book was about to give him the book, and since they were there, the front, they fucking start,
Schmidt.
intervene, and we saw that obviously they had like,
Yeah.
um,
Um.
the
Yeah.
the
It's
upper hand, except if they were gonna bring more reinforcements, which they did. They should have killed fucking Anthony, but
yeah. They should have, but can't win them all.
But I do want to see him not seeing that he didn't kill a girl. So
Yeah.
it was totally that,
Yeah. And
we could wait for that one
yeah.
when that
And
happened.
and our girl Draka turned it around also because they were
She
also
went
gonna
with
kill her.
the front. Yeah, they
Yeah.
went. Yeah, she went with the front. Yeah, with them.
I mean, she burned the book,
Mm,
right? And she's the only one that
yeah.
memorizes it, so it
Mm-hmm.
was kind of like you
Yeah.
can,
Well, yeah, that is how she forced herself to be taken with them.
yeah,
Mm-hmm.
her conviction, right? Once
Yeah.
again, coming back. The talk she had with Schmidt was really interesting, right? Because
Mm-hmm.
just the way that
Yeah, the
they've,
views were so opposite, which made
yeah,
it interesting. Yeah.
yeah, Schmidt does believe that there's a god, but it's like a
Mm-hmm.
nature, right? And they're kind of like questioning what Draka, if Draka believes it. She's like, no, I just don't believe in it, right?
Mm-hmm.
So I almost thought like this is gonna be kind of like a conflict of interest, but
Yeah, but it seems like both know how to respect people's differences and belief, which is, very important in alliance.
yeah, and
And then they speak about the leader, right, of this revolution and whatnot, and we also see um in this episode um how he, no, actually,
we do find out that what they want to do with the book is publish it themselves, right?
Right. Yes, yes. I mean, she figured that one out. She figured that if people, this would spread like wildfire.
Yeah.
Because
Um.
yeah,
Yeah, but about the leader, we found out who it is, and it's the one we've been waiting to
yeah,
show
that's
back
how the
up.
episode. Yeah, that's how the episode ends.
Yeah,
Hmm.
it's
So
the
they
good
bring her to their leader.
the good girl Jolenta's finally back in the story.
Hmm.
My God, that was such a great reveal. Um,
Yeah,
and now
yeah,
we
because
get
obviously the more than anything, the purpose of spreading this book like fire is um, to help continue shifting or taking the power from the church, right? To diminish
yeah
the church power and just like staying and enforcing beliefs into people, because that's really the church's problem right now.
yep
And we also see it with the new employees or whatever, the new
Inquisitor
people like do, yeah, exactly, doing the
tortures and stuff.
tortures. Yeah, it was, their mentality. It's like, the newer generation, and I like that they spoke about it in a briefly way, how like in his throughout history, how they have gained power and therefore it's
Yep, and
much
it's
easier in a way to, or much of the right per se to do it this way, but things used to not be like that all the time.
yeah,
And
because
yeah,
now people don't really squeal or like then don't really tell the truth or like uh they don't how do you say like snitch as much, right?
they don't give in. Yeah,
Yeah.
don't give in
So now
into it.
they resorted to like more extreme measures like burning them alive and
Hmm.
uh drowning them, over and over. I do like the uh that we finally see Nawak back, right? Also, Nawak finally comes back into
Hmm.
the story.
Yeah,
He has a pretty good life these past 20 something years, right? Because he's like,
I know he's just been getting drunk and someone else paying the bill, picking up the bill.
yeah, exactly. He's like, I don't even have to work anymore. Well, so like, even if you
Right.
tell me to help you, I'm not gonna help you
He's
anymore. I
retired.
have no,
He's fully retired.
yeah.
Mm.
But the one thing that brought him back into action was the fact that heliocentrism still active, apparently, right? Because now they have the book
Mhm.
about it, which, you
He
know,
thought he had destroyed everything,
yeah,
which he didn't, obviously.
nope. Good old Bedini strike. Which remember what I said? I told you like when we were talking about what that book was,
Mm-hmm.
and how I told you it was Oxy's diary, and it ended
Yeah,
up.
ended up being. Yeah, it seems like ended up being that one because that's the spirit it took the
Yeah,
form of.
when Jolenta was like writing it, and she's like, yeah, writing and reading are miracles, and I'm just like, wow, like just
Mm-hmm.
the fact that they connected all everything that happened to this moment where like she's
Right.
she's able to talk back to Oxy, right? So powerful, right? But more on Nowak, right? I love that when he finally came around to help the guy, he like completely shifted how the guy approached things, right? He's like, well, if they have a book, they're probably gonna want to publish it, so just go look for people that bought ink. They probably already have their own
Mm.
publishing like technology, right? And
Yeah.
I love that he was the one that said that when any new technology is first introduced, it's always used for evil first, which is kind of like
Mm-hmm.
this is such like a basically how it always is, kind of like in history, right? Like when we
Mm-hmm.
first invented the atomic bomb, we bombed the Japan, this stuff, It's like damn, he was kind of first inventing guns, right? You use them to shoot people, right? It's like
Mm-hmm.
yeah, pretty much nailed right pretty much nailed it, right? But yeah, how did you like the Draka and Jolenta conversation though? Before they started talking about the what was written.
The what? Like their conversation
Ye-
together? I
yeah,
thought it was. I thought they found common ground and were able to, you know, establish a foundation in their alliance. You know, with the leader because they had to form an alliance. Now I mean, she forced an alliance. You know, by writing the book and memorizing the contents, and I feel like they were like the whole talk about Saturn and how things, can change, but then you can find yourself in the same place, but then things have completely changed, or.
yep,
And yeah, so it was really great. I feel the fact they were getting them two together. Um, can't wait to see when the book gets published. He sees his daughter alive. The Anthony sees them both. Yeah, it's gonna be fucking crazy.
yeah.
It's gonna be great.
Yeah, and I love that the one of the lines that Jolenta
I
told
know.
Draka, right, was that the
Mm,
convictions can often be a curse as well, right? It's not just it
right.
just can't be for good. It can also be to your own detriment, right? And I
Mm-hmm.
and the other thing that I really want to talk about, mainly for their conversation, was that even Draka was like kind of questioning whether Jolenta felt like what they were doing was going to be morally right, or like if she thought that they were in the right. And Jolenta pretty much said, "Yeah, I don't think we are kind of in the right, but this is just something that has to be done because uh, the church has taken not just mine but a lot of people's lives away, right? Stripped them away." He's like, "I'm trying to regain power back to for us, right? For everybody." So I thought that was good, powerful messages, right?
Definitely watch the episode, guys, because these are very, very packed, like
Yeah, yeah,
drama with intellectuality and just good characters. Um, like character, like they have characters. These characters
yeah,
have
and also this is just
such
like
awesome, like yeah,
yeah, just kind of it's just we're just summarizing what happens. So like in a way, it's
yeah.
not.
In the her last statement of like maybe because she said, well, if you don't have conviction, then you just wonder, and then she's like, well, maybe wondering is how you know, like where is right,
Yeah,
like. So
exactly.
that was really neat. Like so, very good way of them starting an alliance. Like I'm saying, I'm really excited to see where this is going. I can kind of already see since their convention since they have convention. So it's gonna be great. I just don't know how many episodes they're gonna have us wait until
Uh,
everyone comes into place into this
yeah, I'm sure.
place.
I'm sure we'll be like another, at least another two perhaps.
I want to say that too, like at least another two,
Yeah, but
three maybe.
yeah, but we'll see. There's still like 9 episodes for the season, so
Awesome. So yeah,
uh, yeah, that's it on our blue box. We got
blue box.
3 episodes, blue box. Episode 15.
Hmm.
I so for this one, I just want to talk about like a bit because this is Shinatsu's birthday, right? And
Oh, their little getaway,
yeah,
unplanned getaway. How cute.
a little getaway, which you know
Mm.
we do see that Taiki does pick up. I love that Taiki kind of is picking up like certain cues now of like
Yeah,
how
yeah,
Shinatsu is like feeling or and stuff like that. I mean,
right.
really, really good because I'm tired of my boy just looking oblivious to everything. But I'm glad he's getting some getting this like body language kind of right.
Hmm. Yeah,
Um,
he's figuring it out on his own now.
yeah,
More, definitely.
yeah, and
Yes. So he knows that her birthday's coming and wants to doesn't even know what to give her, right? For
yep,
a while. He did say that he would took a while to decide. But I did feel like that what he did do ended up being like perfect. So they ended up going to the beach and I mean they were planning to come back, of course, but somehow they got stuck and had to spend the night
yeah,
by the station since they couldn't get back.
yeah,
And wow, that was cute though. Them in yucatas
yeah.
and then playing games and just having like
Just being with one another, right?
conversations. Oh yeah, and let's not forget that he brought her the cake,
Yeah,
and that was awesome too. Very thoughtful, very yeah, very nice.
very sweet of him. Uh,
That was the present, right?
yeah,
The
that
cake.
was that was his present to her.
Yeah.
I love that this little trip got him to see even more sides of her, right? Because most of the time
Hmm.
she's always like kind of serious in serious mode. You know, I gotta
And it was
train.
her idea, like
Yeah, it was
to
her
get
idea
the cake.
too.
Yeah.
So now we're seeing that possibly because she saw the Taiki, well, not possibly because she saw Taiki with Hina in the last episode, she started to feel
Yeah.
like, okay, well, I need to be a bit more bold and just make more moves maybe, and that's why she kind of went and it's like, yeah, maybe let's just get to it, get away real quick. I would love
Yeah.
to be someone, not someone, but somewhere, right?
Hmm.
And
Yeah.
I do love that she talked to Taiki about like what was the previous conflicts that she got him in, right before the nationals. Now she's like, yeah,
Hmm.
it was pretty wrong of me to put a just a barrier like that
Right.
after being so open, and the relationship they have is like, yeah, it was pretty wrong of me to
Hmm.
just do this to you, and I'm sorry for that. And I thought that was really nice, right? Really mature way of her like
Hmm.
opening up of how she actually feels without telling him how she actually feels about him. Um,
Okay. Yeah.
and
So.
and also, the mom, the conversation she had with the mom, I love that because the mom really just told her, you gotta rely on other people.
Right.
So
Yeah. It was very, very good. Um, I had a comment, but it just kind of went away. I think it was about Taiki and but anyways, but
maybe I'll come back to you.
yeah, but it was yeah from them having that talk when they were talking, like there was something that he also said. Anyways, but yeah, it was a very good scene
But
for them to deepen like they seem to have been opening up to each other more,
yep,
and and he knows that he really does like
love
love
her.
him, whatever. Yeah,
Yeah.
this
Uh,
is like his girl.
yeah.
So
Yeah, and we can get on to the next episode, 26, 26,
mhm,
16. um, where now it's really not that awkward anymore between them. So I like that this trip really made them bond
mhm.
back.
Yes, definitely made things go back to normal for them.
I gotta say
Um,
though, Hio is still like the best wingman for Taiki,
yeah,
especially because
right.
he was like, yeah, I know how you feel about him, but I'm not gonna help you. I'm on Taiki's side.
Uh-huh. Oh, with Hina?
Yeah,
Mm,
yeah, poor Hina. She was like, oof, like, damn, that kind of it hurt that Kyo was like, "Yeah, I'm not gonna help you because I want to help Taiki with who
Mhm.
I know he actually likes, right?"
Yeah, with who? Yeah.
But
Yeah. I mean, and it's ironic when it seems like he's been in more in a position like Hina's, So,
yeah,
but he's being, I guess, fair to Taiki. So.
yeah, yeah. So a little more about Kyo, right? Um, we learned that he does have a crush on somebody, right? Or that he did have a crush on
Hmm.
somebody.
Yep.
Really, they just kind of like slide it in there, just kind of throw away, like, oh, he, by the way, he likes this person, but it didn't work out. Just
Right.
love little hints about Kyo and what he's all about. Like he can sew and stuff.
He has a lot of siblings.
Yeah, very Big Brother type of energy for sure.
Uh-huh.
This episode does bring like a really good question though, right? And I think Taiki's the one that like posted to himself, right? Like what, like if they weren't living together, would Chinatsu actually like him, like, or like would they have this kind of relationship that they have now?
Yeah, would have gotten closer. Right. He was just stalking her in the morning practices. So, yeah,
I
it
mean,
does be a
it's
question
I
if they would have gotten closer otherwise.
yeah, I mean that, and also
Instead of
the
just like, hey, bye, hello,
yeah,
bye.
morning, bye, you
Yeah,
know.
exactly. Exactly.
Um, and there it also posed like Chinatsu posed this question to Taiki, right? Like if you could just like skip away, you could be with me, right? Like kind of like in a joking way, right? Because they were,
Right.
and you get to see them like kind of have like a vision of like how it would be if they were close, if they were like in the same year. Uh,
Mhm.
really, really cute stuff,
Right. Good stuff. So then we hear that her mom comes back to Japan.
Yep.
And so then the next episode.
No, it's still this one.
Oh, it's in this one that
Yep.
she gets the news?
Yep.
Yeah. Oh, yeah. I think it's when she's talking to her on the phone,
Mm-hmm.
whatever. But yeah, so the mom's coming back, and because their grandpa doesn't seem to be too good,
Yeah.
so she's gonna be back for like seems to be like a month. So
Yes.
she's taking Chitsu back
Yeah.
to live with her, of course, because
Yep. Why not?
they are, yeah, they miss each other.
Yeah.
But yeah, so that's interesting because I think that's good in my opinion
Yep.
for them to kind of take uh, back that situation or that position that they're in and be out of it for a moment so they can take that perspective back again,
Yep.
and then come back and yeah,
I mean,
and
it's a
basically go into it in a little bit more conscious in a way, like,
yeah. Um,
right.
it's also that saying, right, that the heart grows fonder when apart, right? So
That too.
it also plays a bit into that, and Taiki can finally get his answer.
And that, yeah, and we know that because they make kind of like a promise so that they're gonna see each other in the morning. They'll,
Not if Haru
still,
has anything to say about it.
yeah.
For Taiki gets taken
So,
away like a morning. Uh,
hmm
uh, but okay, the big juicy part of the episode. Hina tells Shinatsu that she told Taiki that she likes him.
yeah, that girl has guts.
Yeah, she
Has
does.
guts. Yeah, they run into each other in the printing room just like normal students, and she just fucking throws the ball. bomb.
Yeah.
Damn.
Good on
And
Nina
then she
though.
leaves, right?
Y-
And then she leaves. She's like, "Oh, well, seems like I have errands to run, so
Yeah, she's like, I'll come back later. Uh, you know, I
you can
think,
take your time."
yeah, Hina just wanted to like test Shinatsu, I guess, in a way.
I guess.
But
I guess. I feel like Tina's just too open and in a way
I'm,
honest at a fault.
I mean, it was
She
kind of
wants
like
things, and
it.
she's very competitive, so
Mm,
she wants things to be done like, fair, like
yeah,
so.
I mean,
If
I
she was going to take him away from him, she wants him to know that kind of thing. Like,
yeah. So it was kind of like a challenge, right? Basically, that she just
mhm,
told her like,
yeah.
I'm taking a step further than
Mhm.
you have. And also with the fact that they were separated, now it kind of breaks into question, right? Like, can Hina like squeeze in there now that they're not spending as
Mhm.
much time together?
Mhm. Yep.
Eh, I love
So
I love this episode for Taiki though, right? Episode 17.
yes,
Because
yes.
like he's like
Because
improved.
then we, uh-huh.
I was gonna say for Taiki, he's improving like in not necessarily in his relationships, right? But he is improving in his badminton skills. But because of how badly he
Mhm.
got beaten in the in the pre qualifiers, he was like,
Yeah.
yeah, I'm still not even good enough. So like, he just like he just keeps putting himself down and down while not even realizing that he's actually improving a lot.
Mhm.
And even Haru
Yeah.
like notices and he's like, yeah, I'm not gonna help him though. you know, at first anyway. But
Right.
go ahead. You were gonna say something else.
Um. Yeah, I kind of forgot.
Um.
So.
Okay, so I love also Hina was very assertive this episode as well, right? Because she
Mhm.
kept reminding Taiki like, I like you every chance she got. Because when
Yeah.
she found out that Taiki was gonna have like a match with the guy that he lost to, right? For like a practice match, she was like, "Yeah, I just want to see the guy I like play, right? What's wrong with that?"
Right.
And Shinatsu's also having that same thing where she's like, "Okay, well, I'm gonna come watch you play,"
Yeah.
you know?
Yeah. Yeah. Very, very interesting. Making things juicy for sure. I like that we also know that he's playing Cinderella, even though Taiki is like just like not even part of the play because it's like the student rep, so he's like the producer, you can say,
Yeah,
and making sure that they all have everything, their customs, their and we see that Hina being Hina that she take it into to that script, like
yep,
running in day and night and trying to make it perfect. She's even like having trouble figuring out what face to have when she wakes up,
yeah,
like what expression do you have, when
yeah,
you wake up from that.
yeah.
And
She's giving it her all in that, right? And
yeah.
Taiki tells her as much, right? Like, I love that this just kind of shows that Taiki's able to like see uh the good in other people, but this entire episode he's just always constantly seeing what's bad about him.
Mm-hmm. Yeah. So yeah, so they have a very hot moment since they are practicing the kiss scene per se, and Hina just throws herself at him and says, "Do you want to do it for real?" And it's just like, "Are you fucking serious?" But ah, Taiki's really too honest at a fault. Like, and Hina knowing that,
Yeah,
but you know what? Hina doesn't do it because he knows that he's going to do it. Like she actually knows that he's not going to do it. But as she said it, it forces him to think of her that way. So
yeah, and
that's
th- that's
really
like
the
that's like her
point. Mm-hmm.
Yeah, that's like the whole point. That's why she keeps edging them on, right? To like think of her
Mm-hmm.
like not just
Yeah.
as a friend or as a girl, right? To think of
Right.
her like as a possible romantic interest. Um, but I do like, once again we're gonna talk back to Taiki and how others see him, right?
Mm-hmm.
Haru and Chinatsu have a really good conversation about him, right? And how it's almost like he's walking in the desert, as they put it, right? Where
Mm-hmm.
but he's doing it without hydrating himself, right? And it almost seems like he's improving a lot, but because he's not really giving himself praise, he's not
Mm-hmm.
rehydrating himself to make himself feel good, right? And and Chinatsu's like, yeah, I kind of know that feeling, right? But sometimes but just keep going, keep to keep doing it is better than just standing still, regardless. And I love that she's just like to hire. Well, if you're like his senpai, like maybe you should hand him a water.
Yeah.
Really,
Mhm.
really good conversation with that. That once again summarized. Go see the episodes.
Yeah, seriously. And
Uh,
then I don't
the
know. It's just I do like the end of it, of that episode that he does try to go for it, but then he just I don't know. It just tells you how guys have a harder time to open up in that aspect,
yeah, like
so so but it's good to see that we're seeing it getting developed between our boys here.
yeah,
So I have no doubt that soon enough he'll be less embarrassed of
yeah.
showing his support
So
and yeah. So
last thing about Taiki, right before we move on to like
mhm.
another anime. I love the fact that this whole thing with Hina is kind of like, or like everything that's happening kind of leads him to a point where he's like, it feels like I'm running away, right? And he's like, I
Mhm.
need to. He wants to be able to tell Hina straight up, right? He's like, I've been letting her like tease me like this. I feel like I owe it to her
Mhm.
to give her an answer and not like push it back anymore.
Mhm. Mhm. Yes. Yes. Yes.
So
True on that.
we we definitely know he's gonna give Hina an answer sooner or later.
Yeah.
Um,
Yeah. Sooner rather than later, because he doesn't want to, you know, string her along.
yeah,
So.
that's another thing, and he also feels like, he does have like he does say that he kind of wait is kind of like making him lose focus at times. So like he does
Mhm.
want to realign his focus and also like put things to the way where put his focus where he feels it's most where he wants to take it.
Mhm. Yeah.
And what better way to start it than with the getting his get back with the guy he lost to, right?
Oh yeah.
Because it ends with him showing up.
I know. I know. I can't wait. Honestly, I'm kind of glad that we're gonna see. Yeah, we're gonna see
We're gonna see the
a
revenge match.
rematch.
Yeah,
Mhm. Yeah.
yeah,
Excited for that.
yeah.
Seems like everyone. It seems like everyone's gonna be there watching. So.
I mean, this guy
So.
is like a genius. They said he's like monstrously good. He's even beating like
Mhm.
uh what is it, like
Yeah.
pros
Mhm.
or,
Mhm.
or
Um.
like on like at least the U20s pros or something like that.
Mhm.
So
Some important people. Yeah.
yeah,
Of
but
some
that's it on Blue Box.
blue box.
Yeah, Medalist
Medalist.
episode 5. So we finally get to see what how Mike or Mika performed.
Yeah, yeah, yeah. So this is starts with her, right?
Yep.
Like with her performance.
Yep.
And wow, obviously we knew that to have that mouth, to be talking all that big, she needed to back it up at least something. So we knew it wasn't gonna suck.
Yeah.
But we but although she did not fall on her first jump, she downgraded it. Seemed like she switched the choreography, or like, but subconsciously, right? Like, seems like she was having all this confidence, and telling herself how, like, wow, is she's doing it all, and by memory. And as she's having these thoughts, she realizes that she landed the jump without the double or whatever, and that threw her out of focus completely throughout it. I really like that that's what we see
Yep.
during the performance, her having like this internal realization with herself, like facing herself in a way, like she's finally, you know, yeah, it was she was great. I thought that her perspective grew tremendously just during that time when she was forced with the fork. Like, am I going, like, she obviously, we know that there's routine, they like a makeup routine, if you kind of like go off your routine, like you have like a backup routine that you can do, like a makeup.
Yep.
And then obviously the redo, but the redo doesn't really get advice, because you don't get the points since you already did that. You don't get to, you know
You
redo
get.
it and get higher points for it.
Yeah.
So in a way, during a competition, that's not the right call,
Yeah.
right? But to her, um
It was like
making
her.
that call, it make you realize how she is about, about how she does things, and how she treats people, and how she deals with life in a way, how she just does things,
Yep.
and and this time she would like to redo
Yeah.
for a change. And I thought that was really, really nice, because we have those scenes with the teachers, with Ironi, Inori, and she saying, she wishes that she can make up, like the redo it with them too. So
Yeah.
I thought that was powerful,
Yeah.
so.
So for me, I just took it like, yeah, this is kind of like what happened. This is just like the difference between her and Inori, right? Inori like
Right.
really took advice from her coach, and because she
Mhm.
kept taking the advice from the coach and implementing it herself, right? She knew
Mhm.
what to do if things like did not go her way, right? Because when she
Mhm.
fell, it's like just get back up and pretend like it never happened, right? Keep going,
Mhm.
and that's what Inori did. Mike had no, like you said, she they had a backup routine, but she never practiced it. So like
Yeah.
when she got when she messed up her own jumps and stuff,
Mhm.
she did not realize, oh, I have a backup routine, because it was never like
Mhm.
something they practiced much, that she put time and effort into.
Mhm.
That's why she didn't
Yeah.
think about it right away. She just thought that, oh, I'm gonna go in there, blitz the competition, win it like nothing, right? And obviously,
Right.
when it didn't go her way, she had nothing to rely on. And they did give us like you said, the flashback was nice because it really put in perspective how she does things.
Mhm. Yeah.
And of course, from that they learn and grow. And the coach pretty much said, I like it because you're just like me, right? You don't take
Right.
anything from anybody. You, instead of like saying you're wrong, just show us that you're right, in a way, right?
Mhm.
Don't It's kind of like one of those things where it's like, don't dwell on what you did wrong, just prove prove to us, and prove to yourself that you can get it right the next time, right?
Mm-hmm.
And
Yeah.
that will have everybody else also like talking about you. So really good stuff from this. Obviously, Inori just rekindled the friendship. Very cute,
Mm-hmm.
that she was like, yeah, I had fun. Let's just continue being friends. And okay, the performance by Hakuru.
Oh my God.
That
That was so amazing.
yeah.
Damn, like I mean, and we knew the girl was, top notch, but that was very well animated.
And it was
Like,
actually CGI, like most of it.
yeah, of course.
But it didn't. It looked so good that I was like, just I was floored with how good it looked.
Yeah,
I,
it was very
obviously,
good.
I do want to point out that even like the coach Tsukasa, right, for Inori was like, yeah, this is different, right? He was even like,
Hmm.
this isn't even what the coach does, right?
Right,
Because there was a famous coach that went in there to like view the competition, and he was like, this
right,
doesn't look like something he would like do, which we found out it wasn't something he did. It was the guy that from the previous
right.
episode, um, that her actual coach, right, who is also like an Olympic medalist.
Yeah.
And I love the fact that when Inori thinks she kills somebody, she wants to pour coffee on or like tea on them.
Yeah.
Such it was a funny gag. I enjoyed that quite a lot. But yeah, the guy's very famous, and the fact that I think Inori told him like she wants to be a medalist. He's like, well, that's not gonna happen
Hmm.
because in order to do that, you gotta.
Yeah, what age are you? And it sees that it's, you know, the first to win it has to take it from her girl, and he's like, not gonna happen.
Yeah, because he's like, in order for you to take it from her, you have to say you're able to beat me first.
Yeah.
And Tsukasa took that kind of personally. Not gonna lie, he was like,
Hmm.
like I don't care who you are, I'm taking Inori to the top, right? It's
Right.
like no matter how long it takes, I'm gonna make her a medalist, right? It's like if that means
Correct.
having to beat you, then that's what I'm gonna do, you know.
Yes. Exactly.
So
He said all the things.
yeah, all the right
Hmm.
things. Love Tsukasa and Inori, coach relationships and stuff. Really, really just love their dynamic, and also interested to see like how far uh Inori will go till like the end of the first season. You know,
Yeah.
um, I guess the last little thing we meet the guy with the glasses again, and he was just like, "Who are you?" Poor
Hmm.
girl. Like Inori did not even make an impression on him. Uh,
No. Oh
but
man. Good
but
stuff though.
yeah, really good stuff. With that, I think that's it for the medalist.
Yeah, I think that's it too.
Okay. What's next? What do you want to do next?
Arifureta. And what else?
We have Arifureta and Ubel Blatt, I believe.
Which one?
We have
Oh, the Amazon one. The yeah.
and also
Yeah. I don't
solo
even know
level.
what that means. Yeah.
How about solo
Oh, it's solo
leveling
level.
instead? How about
Yeah,
solo?
let's do solo. Yeah.
Because that's one we don't want to let episodes pile up too much. Okay. Uh, okay. Solo leveling in
Mhm.
3, 2, 1, go. Solo leveling. Episode 15, 16, and 17. So,
Mhm.
episode 15.
So they already left the red gate, right? This is
Yes.
the like.
right after the
and this
renegade.
is when they already left,
Mhm.
and we see this ship with a man, right?
Yep,
And getting I don't know.
destroyed. Um,
This I don't, yeah, there's like something happening, like he's infiltrating. I don't know, but like there's Americans
he
and
speaks
he knows
Korean.
it's um yeah, he speaks like different language. So something's happening, and of course it's highly uh, qualify or things, and we see that this ends up being some sort of thing that the security um, international, or I don't even know if it's the United States, right? It's the
Yeah,
United
it's the
States
yep.
that
Well,
that
let's just cut to the chase. We meet Jinwoo's
yeah,
father.
but
Like this
yeah,
is
that's him. Yeah, that's him. Um, but I'm trying to figure out the situation, my friend, that he's in,
okay. So
or trying to make
so apparently,
clear of what's yeah.
for Jinwoo's
He was stuck in a gate for years or something, right?
yep,
Something.
15 years,
Yeah, that's okay.
and he
So
finally
let's
got
start
out.
there. He through this American people that were in a ship and whatever, and then obviously because he's someone that has been stuck in a gate, there is like a specimen, and they call none other than our
Mr.
friend
Huang,
who hates our protagonist.
our bully.
So it's very interesting how they figure out that that he was related to him, and things didn't go well when he expressed his feelings about him. So
Yeah, he practically said, "I'm gonna kill your family," and he's like, "Yeah, I took that personally."
no, you're not.
They
he's
literally,
like he's like, I will make you wish death.
yep. I do. I do think it's very interesting that it's the first time that we hear about somebody being stuck in the gate for so long that they come back and
Right.
they're almost inhuman.
I mean, I mean, you've been there for decades,
Yep,
Like, you remember that red gate that supposedly they felt that they were in the months, and how it's looked at just for that fact, even though in the real world it's just like
a few
a few
hours.
hours.
Yeah.
Yeah.
No.
People
Yeah.
are like massively like scared just for that reason. Like it's like yeah, that's insane.
Yeah.
Insane.
One of
So he
the.
escaped. We don't know where he went, but at
I
least
mean,
he freed
even.
himself from that prison or
Yeah.
lab or whatever they were doing with
Yeah.
him.
They were trying to keep him prisoner, but yeah, I
Yeah.
love that they were like, damn. Thank God this S clash was really quick, because it could have really destroyed us.
Yeah.
Um, but Jim Woo finally goes into the the Hell's Gate, right?
Mhm.
And they give him just a quick test, right? You know, you gotta kill like 10,000 demon souls. No biggie. No biggie for Jim Woo and his insane army that he's just piling up. I funny thing enough, he was like, "I'm getting tired of walking," and he
Yeah.
picks the bless you. Uh,
Thank you.
he picks up the Ice Bear leader and it's like, "Okay, I think I like you. I think I'm gonna call you Tank." So
Yeah.
we have Tank and yeah, it was just like really great animation with him just going through, and I just love the dialogue where it almost seemed like it was just becoming like kind of like a boredom for Jimmu, like
Yeah.
completely the opposite of how he was in the beginning, and also just his biggest thing was not how many. It's like, can I get through this? Right? It was like,
Yeah.
damn.
We also start seeing how like everyone wants to recruit him, right?
Yep, everybody wants to
he's
recruit.
becoming he's becoming like a sensation. And I like that we also see that he came to the realization that he needs to update his status. Like he needs to show more of what he's capable of. Like he can't keep it as a secret so ridiculous at that extent, have that much power and be ranked E. Like it's really becoming,
Too
you know,
more of
it's
a hassle to keep at.
exactly.
But yeah, I mean, yeah, after the red gate incident, he's like, yeah, it's gonna be even more of a hassle if I keep just trying to hide it. Might as well just come clean with it now. Uh,
Mhm.
but like as I was saying in the Demon Gate, it was like more so the fact that he ran out of food that he wasn't able to clear it, right? Because he said I was gonna be gone for a week, and that's how much food he packed. So afterwards, he was just like, okay, well, I'll go home. Uh,
Mhm.
I do like that he is so close to seeing his mother, uh, be
I
brought.
know. We see that he one ingredient away.
Yeah, one
One
ingredient.
ingredient away.
Yeah, his whole purpose for being a hunter is just um the fact that
Get the
he.
medicine. Yeah,
Yeah,
they can obtain artifacts, he called it. He explained it a little bit too about how like artifacts sometimes it's makes so much money out of them that they're like,
yeah,
insane. Yeah.
yeah. I
That
believe.
people
Yeah, and
hunt just for them.
yeah,
Because people will pay a lot of money for them. So
yeah. Really, really nice way to like get back to how the economy is in this day and age for
yeah.
them, right? Uh, and also I like that. I think this was like one of the few times that he noticed that the system was purposely hiding things from him when he asked, right? Or like when he was trying to find more info about things. Like the system was kind of leaving it kind of vague, or like he couldn't
Like what?
reach.
What do you mean? Like
Because there was a quest, right, where he had to do a certain amount of things, right, and I think the system did not like give him like the full detail. I think it was maybe in the first one when he was like 10,000 soldiers or something like that, or demon souls. It or some other quest that was happened afterwards where he was like, well, I guess even the system hides some things from me.
mm, yeah, I mean it's very, very this whole thing this whole relationship with the system is very interesting because obviously he is on another level than everyone.
Yeah, but
So like
oh, I guess we can.
the matrix, like the
Yeah,
matrix.
yeah. Last thing, very cool scene with very good fan service with Cha. That's about it, right? That's all we'll speak on it. Go watch it.
Hmm.
Um,
Yes. Solo leveling. Great music too. We get Lisa at the beginning and then we get the Tokyo Ghoul
yep,
dude singer at the end.
yeah.
Never
Intro
miss
and
it.
outro is so good. Very solo.
Yeah, never miss it.
Yeah. Okay. 16. He's finally there for his re-access. And lo and behold, they're like, "Damn, this is not working." It's not picking up his mana because it can't because that essentially that means that he is S rank now. Our boy is finally
Mhm.
moving up to S rank material. Only the 10th Korean to do it.
Yes. And obviously crazy how word got around, right? For that.
Yeah, I
Like
mean the association was right on him right away, like, and even.
right. They were already had their suspicions that they were already like yeah, waiting for this moment to kind of have some some facts, some real like concrete like
Evidence.
evidence per se.
Yeah,
Yeah,
and I love that the
correct. Yeah.
chairman personally went to him. It's like, yeah, that's just the test is just a formality, right? Once you become an S rank, it's you just we're just doing it just for the show of it, right? It's not necessary. Like we know you're an S rank now. Uh,
Mhm. Mhm.
and I do love that the chairman does talk to him, and even Jim was like, yeah, he's kind of strong, Like I see his aura,
Oh
right?
yeah. Mhm.
uh,
Yeah, seeing his aura.
yeah. And even then, the chairman is like, we're looking for strong people like you to join us, right?
I
And
know.
and he offers him a really sweet deal.
He was trying to recruit him too.
Yep.
That was interesting.
Yeah, and Jim will realize that, like, if I take this, my whole life can change, right? Like, he won't need to
Hmm.
worry about money anymore. He won't need to be putting himself in danger anymore. Like,
Right.
he could have taken this and taken like an easy way out of his current situation and just be good
Right.
for the rest of his
Yeah, this
life.
is like this is a cozy job.
Yeah, exactly. A cozy job. But obviously he's Jimbo. He's the boy. He's like he just thinks about, like, I can't, like, I belong in the dungeon, right? I gotta be out there fighting.
Hmm.
And
Yeah.
it's not just because he wants to keep leveling up per se, but also it's mainly because we know he wants to get his mother to wake up, or wants to get the potion for his mother to hopefully
Yeah.
give her life back, right? And yeah,
To get her out of that sleep, permanent sleep
yeah,
treatment.
yeah,
It's like the treatment that
yeah,
she's in, that it's like a permanent sleep.
yeah, because there's no real cure for it, so that he thinks that this potion is gonna be like his
Yeah,
last
they're just
shot.
gonna enchant her with the to
Yeah,
keep her alive. Yeah,
yeah,
I mean, it's working. It's do. I mean,
yeah. I mean, he could have, like I
our
said,
Lord's gonna get the medicine and get
yeah,
her out of that
yep,
stage. So
yeah.
I really, honestly, I know he's gonna. I really hope it's not that far out. Like,
Um, so it probably won't be. Just, like, it should definitely happen before the final arc, that where you'll see if it happened or not. Uh,
okay.
but I guess a few things. I love that the fire guy, tried to recruit him. We didn't talk about.
Oh
And
yeah,
he just curved
yeah,
him. He's like, I'm in a hurry.
totally. The other guy too ran to try
Yeah,
to recruit him. Didn't
yeah,
even make it.
yeah. He didn't make it in time, and he just
I hope,
seems.
honestly, I hope that just gives me hope that he will be get recruited by his buddy, because like how his
Yeah,
buddy's dad asked him to recruit him. So
yeah, yeah. It just gives hope that he. Plus, it's somebody he's
yeah.
worked with, so like it makes sense that he would trust them more than
Mm.
any of them. Okay, so funny stuff with the, well, not funny stuff, but like, all this is happening, and because there's time before he has to retake the test for his assessment.
Right.
He's like, you know what? I'm gonna go mind.
Oh yeah, I'm gonna go get more money.
Yeah,
I still need money.
yeah, and
Like,
I love that everybody's kind of like, oh, this is just an E rank. What's he gonna be able to do, right?
I know,
And
I
then
know.
he shows,
Always looking down on their e-rank.
yeah,
Even in those, jobs that are considered, you know,
the,
also
a little more
looked
demand.
down upon.
Yeah,
Yeah, it's crazy.
yeah, and he shows them up. Obviously, very good back shots from Jim Woo.
Oh, I know. Jesus Christ.
Yeah,
They,
not
yeah.
he not built the same he was in the first episode. That's for sure.
No.
Um,
No. He's so much hotter. He's hot now.
yeah. Eh,
Like, yeah.
but yeah, he tries to take on the boss by himself, right? Or tries to attempt to take the boss. Or he was
I
eager to.
mean, yeah. I mean, yeah. He sees that I mean, he's there because the people that are S ranks and they're part of the guilds are so good that they have like a whole company mining for the goods when they close the dungeon or whatever, right? Or
Right before the boss.
when they're Yeah,
Yeah,
or right before on the bus to clean up the boss's room or whatever, like the
yeah,
goodies.
yeah. They want
But I love that our chicken's there. I
yeah,
really
cha.
do. Because it's like, wow, I mean, we'll like when they cross paths.
Yeah.
I don't think I'm the only one, so
No, yeah.
it's always good.
And
I love
special.
that when they cross paths first, he sends his, presence,
Yeah,
and he sends she sends his presence. So
yeah. So he
so
hit.
he
Yeah.
confirms her by like moving, by moving and
Yep.
yeah.
But this
Yeah.
time there was no avoiding it, right? He finally.
Oh yeah, when he tried to go to the boss and she finds him because she does the routes or
Yeah.
like
She
like
does the rounds,
like
right? She like looks around.
yeah, the rounds. Yeah.
Yeah. And she said something very interesting. Like
Mhm.
she sniffs him like twice, and she's like, "You smell good."
Yeah, that was interesting, right?
Yep.
It seems to be like something. I mean, especially when we see what he's doing too, for her to say that. I mean, he's fucking mining.
Yep.
So like, for her to even,
So I
it,
think
it really means that there's some really strong smell, beyond people's like personal or
yeah. So
like body odor. I want to
yeah.
say
So
it's like like I don't know.
so I definitely think this has to do more so with like the mana that it screws out, right? Um,
Oh,
from
okay,
because
right.
even
That would explain.
because for she even says that all the other hunters she can't really be around other hunters because she notices that they smell bad in one shape
Hmm.
or way, right? So it's probably something to do with the kind of order that the monarch gives off. So
Yeah.
like a lot of these probably have like very bad like mana because of how they behave and stuff, right? And Jimu's like Jimu figures or like he kind of thinks like maybe it's because I'm part of the system that I smell different than the rest.
Hmm.
But
Yeah.
I do, by the way, some funny tidbit right before this episode drop and like previews were coming out. Uh, X dropped a tweet about like smell like the Shadow Monarch, right? Because of this episode, like the X business account. Pretty funny stuff.
Mm.
Um, but I do like that this kind of like brought her more curious to Jimmu, not because of the smell, but because there's like she tried to look up some of his info, and it seemed like the association had locked some of the files away. Like even she couldn't
Right
access.
from him.
Yep.
I don't know. Was it the association or was it the system?
No, it was the association that was hiding them.
Oh, okay. Okay.
Um, so that even brought her more curious. Like, who is he? Right? How does an E rank have this?
Yeah, especially because she's no dumb, and then she got that extra information when she asked about him, right?
Yep.
That they're trying to recruit him, the guild that she's in,
Yep.
right? Um and and yeah, so
Not just
she
them, right?
definitely feels like she's onto something, like there's more than meets the eye,
Yeah.
obviously.
She definitely took a good interest in her boy for sure. And not only her, but also the mining people. They're even like, yo,
Yeah,
we'll pay you double.
they
Come work
definitely
with us, And then the guy's like, you know
they're
what?
definitely
I'll pay you
trying
five.
to recruit him too.
Yeah, they're like, I'll pay you
Even
five
as
times
a
as much.
minor.
Because they're like, damn, when we're with you, the mining just goes like 2 times quicker. Um, but
But you know what? Yeah, definitely like that from that episode. We had a flashback when it felt like going back to to those rounds with the people that he was close to. And
yeah, like I love that too, right? Because it's kind of like things don't things haven't changed as much,
Mm-hmm.
but also he's the one that's changed, but the surrounding hasn't really changed as much yet, right?
Right.
So he's just kind of recalling that, yeah, these are the good times that I should probably cherish more, especially after what he's been through.
Mm-hmm.
Um, which is kind of good because throughout the season he's kind of like noticing, hey, I'm kind of losing my humanity, right, bit by bit.
Right.
Um, and yeah, the A rank team, right, the A strike team finally shows up and it's like, yeah, we need somebody to carry our bags. Jinwoo,
Oh,
Jinwoo's like, I'll do it.
right. He offers. He's like, well, I can help.
Yeah,
And damn, that. I mean, again, he has again another flashback, but this is like opposite of his experience. These people have like super consideration of him being weaker and want to protect him, instead
yep,
of bullying him
using them as bait.
and and bait and using him as bait and things like that.
Yeah, I do
So
like that this team was like instant, right? Like they were just ready for combat, unlike some other teams.
Mhm. Yeah, yeah, yeah.
Um,
It's like a very good, guilt or party, I should
yeah,
say, or to be part of.
yeah.
Um,
The attacks with the hierarchs, goddamn, that was looking kind of grim, right? When they were like,
mhm.
damn, we're getting outnumbered. Even the A rankers are having
Oh,
trouble.
wow, those ogres were crazy.
Yep.
They were scary.
I mean, they
What the-
are like a rank material. So maybe
Right.
instead of taking her, well, if he would have taken the other E rank girl here, she would have noticed like the big difference in danger, right? Kind of just to
Hmm.
bring back those previous two episodes. Even with, I love that he helped them without them noticing, right? Because he used the stealth
Right,
skill,
right.
so it almost,
Also, he thought that no one noticed. That's
yeah.
good.
One of them is like, yeah, we have so many mages. You really think none of us would notice you were
At
using
least,
this?
one of us wouldn't notice.
Yeah,
She was a little offended on that, but
yeah,
she was cool at the same time.
yeah. I guess what I really liked is how diverse these people were, right? And like
Right.
one of them was his healer, one of them was like a main offensive user, one of them is just kind of like a uh, crowd control mage, right?
Hmm.
So I love this kind of diverse squad that they were showing, and also I love that unlike his previous squad, this guy actually had a head in his head, right? He's like, you know what, this is dangerous. Let's just get out.
Hmm.
Too bad for him, though, right? Uh, too bad for him because they were not allowed to go out. Because it turns out the main boss of this dungeon was hiding his mount the entire time. The what's it, Kargalgan guy, or another work mage, which my god, he looks so good, right? The main dungeon boss. Yeah,
The ogre?
the orc. Yeah, he looks scary.
Yeah, dude. I mean, their whole fucking civilization, they just look like they were city, like, like,
Yeah,
like they had a whole, yeah,
which I want to
city
say
there.
this is
Seems
kind of like,
funny.
yeah, this is really interesting because even like Jim Woo like kind of said like, I feel kind of off about this mesa, this dungeon as well, right, at certain parts.
Hmm.
And now he realized it's because of this one person. And even then they still were like, you know what, Jim Woo, we're gonna create an opening, and you better book when we're fighting the main boss. You have to book it
Hmm.
because he won't be able to keep up this spell if we fight him. Which I get.
Oh, I don't know.
I gotta say the music that they played, so good. Like once they revealed the boss, oh, that was chef's
Right.
kiss, like perfect.
No, it was good.
Yeah,
I don't feel good.
but yeah. Any thoughts left on solo leveling?
Mm-mm.
Okay. Me neither. Okay, that's it. Arifureta. We got 2 episodes. Episode 12 and 13, I believe, right?
Mm.
So we got more of the test.
Yeah, we continue them having their inner selves. Seems like.
Yep. So first is Hajime. He's up against his himself,
Mm-hmm.
and it almost seems like things are pretty dire in a way, right? He was like constantly seeing the well, he was seeing how he really thought about himself first and foremost, and he thought, yeah, I can outpower me,
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
It's like, yeah, you were the me before I came in here, so like, of course I'm gonna be
Yeah,
stronger.
exactly. Like I'm the one that continues forward while you're stuck,
Yeah,
in the past kind of thing. Yeah, very good way to turn her around and really make it, um,
yeah,
in his vision, put it in at his advantage.
yeah. I mean, I guess the one thing that I really want to say, this really focused on like what me and you have been discussing about for Hajime for like this entire season, about how he's almost inhuman and he's probably doesn't belong in his own world, or he feels that way, right? And
Mm-hmm.
just really puts that in the forefront, where like he has to come to the realization that these are thoughts he's having. But like he said,
Yeah,
I just have to overcome myself over and over.
right.
Um, yeah, and then we have Shizuku, the other one that's in this that we see in this test. She is not doing as well as Hajime.
No, she's definitely struggling.
And I love that we learn a little bit more about her, right? Because it this essentially comes to the struggle of the fact that she can't really admit her own feelings to Hajime.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, it seems that was her whole, yeah,
And not
issue with herself.
Yeah, and that because she can't admit her own feelings, she she also was feeling like she's betraying Kaori in a way, right?
Priority, yeah.
And this really puts, like, me and you have said, since the dream that she had, that she probably's having feelings for Hajime. And also
Mm-hmm.
also it just it it's also like her way of trying to overcome the fact that she's always has to put a front, how she has to be
Right.
the tough girl instead of the princess that she
Yeah.
wants to be. And she finally comes to the realization, you know what, I need to actually be
Be honest.
the princess that gets saved right this time, and calls out for help. And of course, none other than Hajime is the one that shows up to save her in this episode, at the end of this episode.
Right. So good. I'm glad my, because as we're, seeing, she's always holding back for the consideration of others,
but now
not
she's but now,
stepping anyone's toes.
yeah, which to her own detriment, because in the next episode, when she finally realizes this, right,
Mm-hmm.
it basically turns everything around. And I love that the way that Hajime was like kind of just trying to get her to do it, right? It's like, here, you can put your mask back on. The Power Ranger mask.
Yeah, that was a good way to push her to, like, yeah, to encourage her.
Yeah, and she realized, I have to accept the feelings, right, that I have, and she's finally able to overcome her own self. But she's also being very she's finally being selfish, which I really love, right? She asks Hajime to carry her, and then she confesses her love to him.
Yeah. Yes, she does. Damn, girl.
Yeah, all it
Yeah.
took was another Prince Charming moment for for her, right? Because he kept telling her, like, I'll always come to save you or something like that, right? So really love that for our girl Shizuku. And our other girl contestant that's in doing this test, Susu, the special barrier person.
Yeah, Susu.
Yeah,
Susu's so cute.
yeah,
Um, yeah, she's also stuck in her challenge within herself, having a
yeah,
hard time.
yeah. And hers is more so to do with the fact that she's also putting up a front, right? Like she's always putting on a fake smile. She's not.
Smiling, yeah.
How she feels like all her connections are very shallow, or maybe that
Yeah.
people will leave her once they find out what she truly is, how she truly feels, right? And she is, you know, she basically has to confront those feelings, and when she finally does, pretty much she's like, yeah, I'm done running away. Like I'm gonna confront all
In
these feelings.
circles, yeah.
And,
She definitely picked herself up. I'm so glad everyone's, evolving
yeah, I gotta,
internally.
yeah, I gotta say though, really funny that the big buff guy, we don't get to see any of his tests. Just,
Yeah, we don't get to see his, right?
yeah,
Yeah,
we
of course we don't.
we don't
Who
get to,
cares about
yeah, we don't get to see him how they found them. We don't get to see him how he was in his dream thing, and we don't get
it?
to see how he overcame himself.
Yep.
Talk about like side character making it far. Uh, but Tio, I really love Tio's test.
Yes, Teals was great. She really, really nailed it. She uh, like owned that, I want to say.
Yeah, I really love that hers was also kind of like a lore drop in a way, right?
Uh-huh.
And how like her people kind of want revenge on the gods,
Right.
and how she took that and is like, yeah, I did see, I do have like those feelings, but I not necessarily. She doesn't feel betrayed anymore, right? Or like she's accepted that people betrayed her, but now she's not gonna harbor any of the feelings
Yeah.
that they're
Feelings,
saying.
yeah. Or make it her life.
Yeah,
That,
exactly.
yeah. Her life, yeah. She's seen after that, yeah. Making
And
up whatever.
yeah, and I love that she was the one that was testing the labyrinth, right? We found out at the end that she had all these feelings, or like just manipulated the labyrinth in a way, right? Where she was testing the labyrinth.
Yes, yes. She definitely like, yeah. She definitely switched up, yeah, turned it around on them. It was amazing. She had the upper hand since from the beginning, in a way.
Yeah,
So, yeah,
really.
Tia's was great.
Yeah, I think.
I mean, she's great. She's great. She's like a very, comic reliever in the pervertive side of things.
Yep.
But yeah, love her serious moments.
Yeah, her certain
Give her,
moments are always
give her,
good.
give her an edge for sure.
Yeah,
So.
yeah, but other than that, I think that's it on Arifureta.
Yeah,
Yeah,
except that we also that we're gonna start the next one with Yui.
yeah, can't wait for
She's,
that one.
she's our gonna be gonna see her completing this task or passing the test.
Yeah, it's definitely gonna be
That'll be good.
interesting because I think she has things with Shea that maybe she's not like really saying, and things about her past are also kind of like dark. So we are
Mm,
I think we're definitely gonna be in a treat for that one. But yeah,
yeah,
that's it on
good
Arif.
stuff.
Yeah, good stuff. That's it on Arifureta. Dragon Ball Daima.
Dragon Ball Time.
So 14, 15, and 16. So, episode 14, right? We get the fake Ginju Force. How do you feel about them?
We get the what?
Fake Ginju Force. You remember the Ginju Force?
No, I don't know why you wait. No,
Uh,
tell-
uh, you know the ones that worked for Frieza, the Elite Five.
oh, that 5 group? No. That's like in this last 2 episodes. Go on, just go, just.
Well, I just thought it was funny that they brought back like kind of the replacement of the Ginyu Force. That's really all I have on. They were kind of nice, like they bought chocolates for the Majin Boos. And they were like kind of like, well, you guys are like the last defense in case they break through.
Oh yeah, it is those guys that just got beat up in the last 2 in the last episode.
Yep.
Yeah, they were definitely funny. I like how they all look the same and nod. Obviously,
Yep.
they all look different. One's fat, one's yeah.
Little
They
Lord.
definitely seem.
Yeah, go ahead.
They definitely seem like a comic reliever,
Yep, they are.
than a real challenge.
Yeah, I mean they heard that they beat the Takagami and that they beat Majin Buu, and they're like, "You want us to beat them?" Like kind of like, yeah, you're kind of crazy for putting that on us. Ugh. Okay, but yeah, just a few things, right? We learned that Neba was the one that created the force fields in this episode,
Mm-hmm.
and he's also the one that took them down essentially for them to be able to.
Right. So they can trouble because they got blocked by by turning off the
Yeah.
fish that will take them through the different dimensions.
Yep, and yeah, just Bulma flexing her wealth to poor Pansy, because Pansy was like, yeah, we don't have that many planes, we're kind of poor. She's like, Bulma's like, oh, I'll just give you a few planes, no biggie.
Mm-hmm.
And I mean, it was just this episode just kind of ends with them like jumping in because the plane was gonna crash. I don't know how
Mm-hmm.
this entire series was like just there's always a plane problem.
Yeah,
Uh,
quite definitely.
Plane problem in the series, but yeah. Then episode 15 just kind of picks up where this one ended, where they were getting attacked by everybody, and apparently the stun guns actually work on Goku and the rest because they have the bodies of a child, right? Uh, Very interesting that Saiyans are not immune to the paralyzed guns,
Mm-hmm.
and we learned a little bit more about the third eye. I remember, like in the first episode, they were kind of saying that they would.
Yes, we did learn about this which now that we were going back to this third eye, wasn't he one of his wishes supposed to be about the third eye?
Yes, he
Find
wanted.
it, right?
Yeah, he
He
was.
wanted to find it.
Yep, and they did.
Yeah, he wanted to find it. Okay.
Yeah, so that was really interesting that they brought it back. And funny enough, our gag character Hibis was the one that had it the entire time
Mm-hmm.
in his belt, and they were like, the guy was like, well, Degasu, you have to go get that belt. Like we have to get the third
Mm-hmm.
eye. Really funny how he was like, the girl was trying to like persuade him with like, advances, right? Like trying to like get him to go to a hotel or something, and he was like,
Mm-hmm.
no, I'm good on that. Just I can trade you for your hat though.
Yeah, that was obviously on character with the dude since the beginning.
Yep.
Been he's been letting us know that he has no real interest in sexual appeal or woman and that.
Yep.
Yeah, funny how he got easily convinced, right,
Yep.
for it. And yeah.
And
So, and we also see that, so they get over this fight, they beat everyone up with the lasers and whatever. And they're kind of like, realizing that they're in they got to think fast, Oh, and they get saved by the dad, right? Did we
yep.
talk? Yeah, them. That was that was good. Like,
Yep. Good little
the
father
right
daughter
moment.
fighting. Yeah.
Yeah, right moment, right time.
Yeah.
Yeah, they were struggling there. So yeah, so it made them, able to get the upper hand because they were obviously, falling
Yeah, they were having it
behind.
rough.
Yeah,
I just
and want
want
then
I just want
kind
to
of regroup and then redo, no, or replan,
yeah.
because then they were like, okay, we're gonna get the Dragon Balls first, or are we gonna go? Get the baby, the
Yeah, then
Denden,
yeah, rescue Denden.
yeah, yeah. So yeah, you were saying you wanted to.
I was just saying, like in the previous one, Goku could have gone Super Saiyan. Made it a lot easier. They didn't go Super
Yeah,
Saiyan.
yeah. I mean, a lot of yeah. From there, or a lot of the times, it's because Goku doesn't go serious, from the get go. That he lets it get,
Yeah,
you know.
but
Yeah.
once they were getting the upper hand, he went Super Saiyan to end it quicker. So it was kind of like, okay, maybe if he would have
Hmm.
gone Super Saiyan first, it would have gone smoother than what it did. But
Hmm.
really interesting that they chose to get Denden first, right? Because I think the whole point of them getting the Dragon Balls first was the fact that they were gonna be big enough to go get Denden later, because they weren't gonna kill him
Hmm.
anyway, because they need Namekians.
But good call, because they were gonna take him, right? They were gonna,
Yeah, Degasu was
or
planning to
not
take.
even they. It seems like they were. He betrayed him. He was like gonna betray him,
Yeah,
like on his way to betraying him. But the dude got the eye because at the same time, even though he went and took the baby, he got the eye, third eye for him,
yep,
and the guy put it on, and he got super huge.
yeah.
God damn.
I just I gotta say, they just made him look like Jiren from Super Dragon Ball or Dragon Ball Super,
Yeah,
whatever. I was
yeah.
just like, oh, they just made him Jiren. Cool.
Hmm.
Um, Glad to see that the Lions have very good ambition, right? I think both
Hmm.
the sister and the brother of Supreme Kai both want to be the Demon King,
Hmm.
and that's why they both are betraying them. Obviously,
Hmm.
Degasu, the brother, his plan didn't go quite as well, thanks to Pansy
Yeah.
and
I
Piccolo.
did have to say something to, like, Florio.
Yeah,
When he didn't see the Dragon Ball there, he seemed confused.
yeah. So I think because he was expect he I think he wanted them to himself too. Like we've been saying he's kind of shady from like the get go.
Hmm.
We thought we thought it was because of Arisu later on, but maybe he also wanted the Dragon Balls for himself because it seems like all the lions kind of want to be demon
Hmm.
kings, right? Or
Yeah, right.
so. And Supreme Kai's the only one that was kind of like, yeah, I just want to oversee the world. I got no ambition like that.
Yeah, yeah. I just, yeah, search
But
for peace.
yeah, I do like, however, that they finally met the other Majin Boos, right? So
Yes, I know. The next episode is gonna be hot. It's gonna be
yeah,
heat. It's gonna be
yeah,
fire. It's gonna be good.
yeah. I mean, we are coming to like the near end of it all, right? I think it was only supposed to be like
Yeah,
20 something episodes, so I'm glad we're finally
yeah.
having all the pieces in place. They're all
Hmm.
with relative like space from one another.
I
Maybe,
know. We're so close to really see who's gonna get all the three
yep,
and make the wish.
yep.
You know? And then when finally it comes out to the light that he's been betraying them or working, with her behind their back, oh my god, it's gonna be good.
Yeah, all the pieces are there for
Then
a
that
juicy
fucking
finale.
asshole, being super big to just add himself
Yep.
to the
Oh,
mix. So yeah, good stuff. So Dragon Ball Daima, we we're loving it.
yeah.
We do know that there's no much death, but it's canon, and they're definitely expanding or at least giving us more of
The Dragon Ball world.
explanation, yeah, of the world and more of like understanding of how comes things are or become.
Yep.
So that's definitely a plus. So
Yeah. Good
love
job.
that. Love that.
Yeah, me too. Alright. Acid on Dragon Ball.
Mhm.
Ubel Blatt.
Ooh, blood.
Episode 2,
So
2 through 4.
so this series has been very interesting in its own
Yeah.
like category. Um I'm really enjoying, getting to know the characters and at the same time the history of of them.
Yep.
And it seems like there's a lot of races in this world.
Mm-hmm.
There's a lot of races, and obviously that creates a lot of wars and political, conflicts. So so yeah,
Been
it's really good stuff.
yeah.
So we saw episode 2, right?
Yeah.
So we're kind of understanding that obviously when there's a lot of wars and politic conflicts, borders are really, really tight, right?
Yep.
Because obviously, and we're seeing that because of that,
Yep.
smuggling or like crossing the borders, it's it's a crime and illegal, and then you have to kind of like pay someone to smuggle it in and things like that, and there's a whole like
Ecosystem.
underground business, yeah. So
I gotta
we
say,
see that that a lot of our characters like kind of meet there because they kind of like
trying to get through this border that's
yeah,
been
they kind
placed.
of, yeah, exactly, they all kind of have the same goal, and we're getting to see all these characters, adding to each other to this. We get PP first, then we get this dude, this older dude, then we get the woman
Yep.
was always part of it, but
She was
she
the main.
gets, she gets more interested in them and involved with them
Yeah.
than
So
yeah.
for me, I gotta say this was more focused on like
Mhm.
obviously, like you said, that perfect premise for like the borders and how they divide people and stuff, and also political stuff. But Coinsel was like the main like component to it because he realized how it happened, or like not how it happened, but he was at the start of like this wall being built, right?
Mhm.
And we found out his previous life's name, right? It was Asherid or something like that, and he was also like a master swordsman. And
Yeah, we see that he was part of the party of the 7 heroes that he's after.
well, it was I think it was 14 heroes to start off with, but two of them died, and then the other 7 killed off the other 5. Um, and yeah, it was very interesting seeing one of his mentors was the one that sacrificed himself to build this supposed wall to protect everybody. But that sacrifice ended up being like a detriment to this world, and also like a detriment to how corrupt the seven heroes god.
Mm-hmm.
Because even then they were kind of like taking him and making him be part of the group of seven that were deemed as heroes. And Koizo was like, look what they're doing to you, man. Like, they killed us off, and they're saying you're part of that, right? They're like, and he also was the one that like tear down the wall
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
because he destroyed his mentor's well, the circle where the mentor placed all his things, right? All the magic for this to happen. And yeah, basically now the heroes are gonna actually have to do work.
Yeah.
They even realized that, like, well, now that the border's gone, now we're actually gonna be put to do work.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, this is also where we learned that he was the one that in the first episode was the one that was being like put in separate pieces by them. Very hard stuff. You can see why he harbored such revenge in his heart.
Right, right, of course. He was betrayed like hardcore.
Yeah,
And they're lying to the whole public, you know?
yeah, they're lying. They did not tell the story how it was. And now let's get into the episode 3, right, where it actually comes into full circle, where he meets one of them, or like all of them, or something like I don't.
Mm-hmm.
And he gets stopped before he's able to kill or like take care of them.
Right.
And and then they lie to the entire crowd, right? They manipulate the crowd. Where like look at him, he's obviously he's gonna harbor these feelings towards us, right? Because did not we did not protect the people on the other side, right? Him having to go through all that, we can't even imagine the hardships he went through. Like very good political stuff that they were playing at, and they do let him live. Um, and he kind of loses his way for a bit, right? Of like whether his revenge was gonna be right, and really noticing how people were treating them like as if they are the savers, right? It kind of clicked to him that yeah, maybe me trying to get this revenge is kind of doomed from the start. So now he kind of lost his way. Uh, we do learn a bit about him. I think the guy with the eye patch told him like, you are the Black Swordsman, something like that. And he was the one that like stopped the rebellion, right, in the other side. And one of the persons that came after him also was seeking revenge, right? One of the sister of the prince or something like that from the other side.
Mm-hmm.
Uh,
Yes.
it,
Um,
it,
so yeah, I mean, I really like that he they go to this kind of camp now, right? Like
yeah,
and they're settling in kind of thing because they cross the border, they destroy the border, they kind of disrupt power because they got rid of that priest that is like a fucking pain. So glad he got rid of it. And whoever that he wasn't one of the heroes. The person that he kind of hired, he wasn't, right? He was just like using like a source from one of oh no, not even. Like he was like using like a fairy in his sword. But he wasn't part of the people that he's like trying to take revenge on.
nope,
That I felt like I feel, but we see that he meets the sister that he did take a life already. Like he's killed one already, right? He's
Um,
killed one.
no, no, it
No, he
wasn't.
hasn't killed one. I thought the brother of the princess that came for revenge, the girl,
No, he was just
um, a
he
bystander, just
no, he was just like the leader of the of this rebellion that was happening on the other side.
oh, okay.
So that's what I was saying. Like he just kind of took care of that by himself, and that's how he when we remember the first episode, he got called like a little hero or something like that.
Yeah, yeah,
That's why he took offense to people calling him a hero, because
right.
I guess he didn't deem what he did there any like hero X, right? So like he did not. That's why he didn't like that. But you know, as things have it in this camp, there's corruption everywhere. We've learned that the guy with the eye patch was the reason why he wanted to come through to the other side was because he wanted to meet this priestess, right? That was taken away from him as they were like going through the Badlands or whatever. And the main person he saw take her away was the guy with all the tattoos on his head.
Mm.
And with the console being like out of commission for most of this section, uh, they were kind of like trying to certain people were trying to like get some of the elves or whatnot and try to sell them off, right? And they thought that the centurion, the one with all the tattoos, was the one behind it as well. But turns out it was like another person that had like the blessing of one of the heroes, I believe. And he just kind of chopped off the people that were using the power that was granted by that hero to kind of be in the right and take command of and say that they were right by taking people. So he just like took care of them real quick. They're in pieces now. Episode 4.
Mm-hmm.
So Fargo is the one that kind of shows up, and instantly you're kind of like, well, he seems too nice, right?
Mm-hmm.
And he basically garnered like a lot of sympathy from all of them. I feel like, right? He was just kind of like saying all the right words, like, yeah, of course you would want to hurt me if all what you're saying is true, right? Why don't you come and meet me? We'll talk it out. All this other stuff, and he even promised to arrange a meeting with the priestess for the guy with the eye patch. And it seemed like things were going too well because even the kid was able to rescue the elves. They walked into a trap, right? The guy with the eye patch and the princess.
Mm-hmm.
Um,
I know. That was so hard to see. I
yeah,
mean, they should have known better, but
yeah, they should have known better. Or
but yeah, they really did. They really did. But I'm glad they saved themselves. They were able to call whatever beast,
yeah, to
they
pick them
they
up.
they have. And
I'll tell you what was not nice seeing the guy take care of the kid's parents after promising to take them somewhere. You know, um,
mhm,
and then he was trying to use force to like take care of him afterwards, and there seems to be some like really strange magic going on with him, right? Because he was making bringing people back from the dead with like necromancy or something.
mhm.
And I love that PP was kind of like trying to stay hidden, so she didn't really scream out for help at first.
Right.
But even then,
Right,
like
right,
like
right. She really tried to, yeah, she did. But poor PP, because obviously things worked out for the asshole's favor. Came
yeah,
the worst time and stopped the dude from killing him, and they left. And now, we PP's being left like a crazy person.
Yep.
That that uh, yeah, I hate that. I hate how truth this can be in real life, you know?
Yeah.
How how this plays in real life a lot too, and we play right into it too,
Y-
you
y-
know? Like
yeah.
for
Very.
example, the whole Donald Trump thing, you know, there's a lot of people out there that really believe that this guy
Yep.
is out there to help them, you know, that he really is
Yeah.
putting American first and therefore the American people, but no, you know, and just like this dude, like and I hate you know what I hate, but I kind of like that this anime is really heavy on that. Not gonna lie,
Yeah.
you know, like the priest was really like that. Like they really have this kind of evil heart, and they're very consciously doing this
Yeah.
thing, you know, like this evil thing, you know, and they're and it's in their right, and it's in their, you know,
Power. Yeah. It's very.
exactly, like it's in their duty almost, you know,
Yeah.
for them to do this, you know, and ah, it's twisted. It's very, very twisted, but we see it again, like I said, we see this being played out in real life, you know. I mean, the fact that Elon Musk is taking like over government like
Yep.
agencies and things, you know, like
Yeah.
that's like, yeah, that's crazy, you know,
Yeah.
like it's like this kind of thing, you know. And you know, there was a time where people were really looking up to Elon Musk. I did at one time. I did, well, that I didn't hate the guy, you know.
Yeah.
I
Yeah.
thought he was like, oh, he's a smart rich person that invests in good things like Tesla, you
Yeah.
know, a SpaceX, you know, like, but
You.
now it's become like, whoa, you know,
Yeah.
like
It's
I don't
like everything's getting. It feels too corrupt, right? Like, look there.
right, right.
Like,
And
just
this is
like.
very heavy on that, on
Yeah.
that.
Yeah. Just like the heroes, they were corrupted by all the
Mm-hmm.
glory that they
Mm-hmm.
were gonna get for coming
Mm-hmm.
back and succeeding in the mission that they decided to get rid of half the crew. Uh,
Crazy.
yeah. So
So they can take
full
for their
credit.
own greed.
Just
Yeah, so they
yeah,
can take more credit.
yeah.
Oh, crazy,
Just
right?
like Trump took credit for the TikTok after he tried to ban it. Pretty.
For real, dude. Or
Yeah. It's
or how he admits that, you know, Ellen helped him with his computer and his very good at Twitter and socials and things like that.
yeah.
And then saying at the same time that he wins by a landslide when it was like a margin of almost a 1%, you know?
Yeah, exactly. Pretty.
like,
This anime
like,
is playing a little too close to home. Maybe
really?
that's why it's getting such an interesting. That's why I'm so interested in it because it really is.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah,
Agreed.
yeah, and moving on.
And I like the double moon. I do.
Yeah, the moons are great. Like the moon,
Mm-hmm.
every shot of the moon is fantastic. I love that.
Mm-hmm.
That's also how like Poinso gets his power.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, yeah, I like that too.
Hmm.
I like that that's how he kind of like recharges. Like,
Yep. And another thing that's really good about him, he's very empathetic, right? Because we've seen it in the
yes,
he notices like
yes,
pains of
he
others.
really is.
So it could be
He really is.
because he's an elf now or hybrid elf. I don't know what he is.
I don't know
Um,
why he is either.
but yeah, very good. And this played into effect also when the girl kind of comes back to him, right? And it's like, listen, I'm sorry that I tried to take revenge on you. Like
Right.
I know that I shouldn't have blamed you, but it's like I just had
Mm-hmm.
such hate in my heart for being left
Mm-hmm.
alone, right? Or like the fact that my brother's no longer here, that I just had to have that come out somewhere, and that ended up having to be with your revenge, right? Or with me trying to convince
Right.
myself that I need revenge to feel good about it, about being left alone.
Right.
And
Yeah, left on her own. I mean, that does sucks, but
yeah, and I just like how Constance's like, yeah, you know what, it's fine. You know, it's just fine. You don't have to worry about it. I did things, can't take back. It's all good. But yeah, Ubel Blatt, great show. Get on Amazon to watch it, please.
yes, it's a great show.
uh, that's it on that one. Apothecary Diaries. We got episode 26 through 28. So
Nice.
in episode 26, right? The fifth concubine is coming. The king meets another concubine.
I know, right?
um,
Oh, this man.
yeah, and I love that this is like when they kind of like realize that, uh, well, Mao Mao realizes that there might have been a leak, right? Because a lot of the people that were coming in to sell stuff, right,
Mm-hmm.
were selling like clothes for like pregnant women,
Right.
and she was like, "Well, you guys should next time you guys go here, you should just ask to see for their like not stuff that's not like covering the belly, because obviously it was like her pregnancy is supposed to be kind of like a secret, so like they don't want anybody finding out she's pregnant quite yet.
Yeah, because as we know from the last season, somehow kids die, right? 'Cause
Yeah, like people when
they
people
always.
when people try to one of the concubines finds out that there's a pregnant, there seems to be kind of like this. People tend to be jealous of that, right? Because it could mean
Mhm.
that the king is going to take more interest in them, and can't have that. And not only that, but there's like several hints through this episode with like all the other stuff that they're selling that also like can damage pregnancy that Momo does not put together until like the very end, right?
Mhm.
And she realized this is kind of like the event from like the powder stuff, right? Where like the ladies were like putting powder in their face and stuff too, and it ended up killing the babies. So, and there's also like the whole thing. There's apparently the north smells kind of strange that kept going around, and so like even the sanitation was starting to be like a bit of a problem for the northern side. Um, uh, and I guess just the fact that she likes to drink like poisonous tea, right? Like the jasmine tea's poisonous, and she just likes to
Yeah.
chug it down. Uh, I mean, yeah. I mean, other than that, there's nothing much for this episode unless you got anything.
No.
Okay, so we get to episode 27, which I think this one was like the more juicier one.
Right. I think so too. When basically the cutie asks her to figure something out for him. That's when things always get interesting.
Yeah.
So, what? How did he bring it up this time? He was like,
So
"There,
so
uh-huh,
Shinji was like kind of asking her like, where she would think like a building would be, right? Or they should build a school essentially, right? Trying to get
mm-hmm,
her to like, or like if she would be able to teach extra classes somewhere, right? Or what would be the most optimal place to have people
mm-hmm,
gather, right? Well, to have them
mm-hmm,
gather. So she's like, well, you can have them in the north, right? Because that's where like a lot of abandoned buildings are. And she remembered that it's probably due to the fact that Shinji wants to like enhance the literacy
right,
in the rear palace and stuff. Um, so that was the plan. It's like, yeah, we're gonna build a school here. There's a
Right. And we know that this is something that it's her passion, it is within her, like, um, she feels like this is something that it benefits, everyone,
yeah,
and it's necessary. I like how Momo is really, really down to earth in a way that there's times where she doesn't downgrade herself, obviously, but she knows that she's a servant, and you can tell that she's like, oh, I can get my head cut off if I
yeah,
do this, or if I think, or if I, act this way, or if something were to happen like that.
yep,
Um, and it's really, really interesting to me to see how, like, she kind of really knows her place, but um, I don't know, like, she and she doesn't revolt in, like, obviously retaliate or anything, because she's a very good servant, and she does her work very well.
yeah. I
But you can really tell that what she does and what she believes or what she likes or what she wants doesn't it's it's her own prerogative in a way,
yeah,
so it doesn't matter whatever that society kind of tries to wait. She will try to work around it, make it work, do it,
yeah. I mean,
or
it's
whatever, or snaky, but like she, but she definitely doesn't bend to it if it were to stop her from what she wants to achieve, or
yeah,
discover or learn or
yeah.
or do.
She also plays it off like, she knows that what they ask of her sometimes can be more than what she's supposed to do. So like she kind of takes advantage of that, and it's like, well, I'm just a measly servant. You should just reward me. Like in a way, it's like I would love to have
Yeah.
certain things, right? Um, but yeah, her passion is definitely poisonous stuff, and that's how Chinchi kind of like gets her to like look at certain type of stuff, right? Because he tells her like about how like certain people are like at this time and age are like always like consuming mushrooms and whatnot, right?
Mhm.
So because they grow more, it's like you should look to see if there's any poisonous mushrooms around.
Mhm.
And obviously that plays into the fact that she loves poisonous stuff, so she's more than
Yes.
happy to go and look. Uh,
Yeah.
and this is where we find out like one of the con- uh, previous concubines, right, was like mistreating a lot of her ladies in waiting.
Yes. Yes, we do see that. That was crazy
Yeah, and
how it was this, like, abuse happening, right? And yeah. Wow.
yeah, and this is where like also playing into effect of like how I said earlier how there's like a lot of jealousy that comes around, right?
Mhm.
And one of the ladies that that got the uh, bad end of the stick was this other lady in waiting called Jin, right? Where or not Jin, but like Sun, right? I think that's her name. She had like
Mhm.
bandages everywhere, and kind of
Mhm.
it was kind of like a rash that was like infecting the body in a way. So it was they deduce well, Mamo deduced it was kind of like due to this certain type of mushroom that when you come in contact with it, it creates this kind of like reaction to your body,
Mhm.
and that's why like she realized where it was coming from, and then she also questioned why like there were certain things about how like they were talking about like Jin, the one that died, and how a lot of one of the ladies in waiting was also kind of like infected, so she kind of took into consideration that, and there was the whole thing that I mentioned about how North was smelling kind of weird.
Mm-hmm.
That played into this episode where it was like, oh, it was kind of smelling weird because it's been like a year since they like killed off the main concubine, and then they replaced her with
Mm-hmm.
someone that looked like her.
With someone else that like with the servant
Yeah,
and looked at him.
yeah, and obviously
Yeah, that was crazy.
when it became aware that they weren't going to be able to keep the charade going any longer,
Mm-hmm.
they decided to offer, you know, uh, and
I know, and she's figuring all this out.
yeah, Momo
Uh,
was super smart when it comes
yeah.
to very all.
Then she's, she sees the hands of someone, and she's still. I like how she's like, but let me give me more time. There's still some things, some loose ends that I need to kind of tie.
Yeah,
So.
and she realized that she was well over dead because the mushrooms grew on the body, right, or near the body. Uh, Specific mushrooms. They're like, and she wanted to test out what they would do to her if she ate them.
Mm-hmm.
And the guy was like, "Yeah, no." But yeah, I think that's it on the 27 final episode with the mirrors.
Mm-hmm.
Very cool. Uh,
Oh, that was beautiful. Yes.
mm-hmm.
I liked it. I liked the mirrors. I thought they were beautiful. I thought her perspective on it, on how he bought a bunch of them, and it might be like a trade deal happening in politics and blah 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 blah. I thought that
Yeah,
was
yeah,
really cool too.
yeah. I just gotta say, like the one of the things that I really loved is how they were the the first major thing that happened was like with Chinchi once again, asking, getting more than what he can can do on his own, and then having to
Hmm.
ask Mamo to like help him out with certain things.
Right.
And he wanted to find out how it was possible that one of the how a twin could get pregnant if they're always being surveillance, right?
Mm-hmm. Yeah, that was interesting too.
Yeah,
And I love that the mirrors came into play with that too.
yeah. That's how
So
that's how they came into play. Really,
to
uh,
know that one stayed while the other one was sneaking out.
yeah.
So
That was
and the reflection both, yeah, pulled in by the reflection.
yeah.
Very good stuff.
Uh, and the granny, you know, Mamo's granny.
Oh, that was
Mamo's,
another thing. So we see that this trade people or this foreigner politicians
yeah,
have come to, make their visits, and Momo's old lady boss
yeah,
seems to have been the jewel of one of their past,
yeah,
visits, and that was hilarious
yeah.
to witness and tell.
Yeah. So I gotta say, she's actually like Mamo's grandma. Like, her entire gene line is very good looking, right? The mom and her were like really good looking in younger years. Um, but yeah, I didn't write much about this. There was not a lot of like juicy parts of this episode. Just the granny being a
Yeah,
badass courtesan, and you know,
the mirrors,
yeah.
and then yeah,
But
yeah, it was
it's fun. Apoth-
perfect.
yeah,
So,
apothecaries is fun. Obviously, we just have to keep taking note or certain things because it eventually is going to come back, as we've seen in the previous season. So
hmm,
can't wait to see the full picture of what's happening. Uh, other than that, I think.
agreed.
Other than that, I think that's
Agreed.
yeah. Other than that, I think that's it for our episodes this week. So once again, guys, in YouTube, we streamed this on Twitch. So if you want to catch it a few days early, maybe a week early, depending, uh, just follow the Twitch. It'll be in the description. And if you want to continue yapping along with us, you can always share, like, subscribe on YouTube, and comment so we can discuss with you guys the episodes. So
Hmm.
thank you
Yes.
guys.
Until next time, guys.
Till
And
next time.